And welcome to the Stan Simpson Show, a program about Connecticut people and compelling issues. Make it a point to drop in every week. We all aspire to eat healthier, but few of us can sustain a good nutritional program. Well, today, nutritionist Catharine Arnston, CEO of the Naughty Bits, Inc., will break it all down for us. She'll tell us what foods not to eat, what foods to limit, and what foods you absolutely must have every day. So welcome, the CEO of Naughty Bits, Catharine Arnston from Boston, Massachusetts, right?
Yes, that's
welcome.
right. Good to be here.
So I'm fascinated by the whole issue of health now. You see our nice little picture with this.
I'm very impressed.
You've made it a career. So how did you get into the issue, into the area of nutrition?
Well, I actually had a totally different career, and then 4 years ago, my younger sister developed breast cancer, and her oncologist told her to eat an alkaline diet, and she didn't know what that was. And
I don't know to explain that. What is it?
Well, an alkaline diet is basically foods that are green, and when you eat foods, they either have an acidic effect on your body or an alkalining effect. And alkaline foods support your immune system, bring oxygen to your body. They have phytonutrients, so it boosts your body. Acidic food strains your body. So when you're going through chemo, like she was, he wanted her to have the best nutritional plan so that she could get through her chemo and successfully, which she did.
So such as what? Give me some examples of
alkaline
the alkaline
foods. Well,
foods.
the simplest thing is anything that's green. So it's your vegetables, it's your salads, it's your arugula, spinach, kale, broccoli, all the things I know people don't want to hear.
Right.
But it's vegetables. It's also almonds are alkaline. Green tea is alkaline. So because when your body needs to maintain a balance of pH balance of 7.3, just like we have to be 98.5 or to be healthy.
What does 7.3 mean? And what I want to do too, I want to focus first on the bad foods where we're getting ahead of ourselves. But real quick, 7.3, where does that, who registers that in your body?
Well, it's an automatic thing that happens. So, and when your body becomes too acidic, you would die if your body automatically didn't try to neutralize that. So what your body does for you, God bless it, is that it pulls out the minerals that are in your bones or your organs to neutralize that acidity. And so this is why if you eat a lot of acidic food, which sadly are all the things we like, meat, wine, coffee, sugar, processed foods, if you eat that over and over again, your body, to balance itself out, constantly pulls the minerals out of your bones, out of your organs, and that's one of the things that eventually leads to osteoporosis and many other illnesses. So eating acidic food for a whole lot of reasons is bad for you, but on the alkaline balancing, it's particularly bad.
All right, let's do this. Let's stay with the foods you should eat. We're going to try and go with that laugh, but now we've already gotten into it. We might as well go ahead and stay here now, right? So let's go back to so now you're green tea.
So green tea is...
Now, isn't there acid in green tea?
We're talking about the effect the food has on the acidic balance. It's not the acid in the food. For example, lemons are quite acidic when you look at the chemistry of them, but they have an alkalining effect on your body. So it's not whether the food itself is acidic, it's what it does to your body.
So it's like having a swimming pool. You know, put it in the layman's language. You have a swimming pool and you throw some chlorine in there, and chlorine may be poisonous, but when you mix it with water, it can balance out and make it work. So you're saying that so you can't have some acid in your system as long as it balances your chemistry and not put it out of whack. And
generally, we just suggest people to eat 80% good and 20%, be naughty and treat yourself to whatever you want. But it's the daily stuff that you have to worry about.
Okay, almonds, you mentioned lemon. Now you're big, and we're going to try to do this on the third segment. These bits here, let me take a look at these. You are big. You are sort of the founder now of what you call Naughty Bits.
Yes, and well, they have different brands. So some people don't like to say naughty. So we have Recovery Bits, which is chlorella algae.
But what they are, though, this is algae.
100% algae.
And what algae is pond scum, right? So we got to...
We're trying to change that impression.
I bet you are.
Hey,
I bet you are trying to change that.
We gave algae a makeover.
So how do you take something like pond scum, and how is that healthy? I hope you guys can see a picture of this. How do you make pond scum healthy? Why is that healthy?
Well, first of all, is the most nutritionally dense food in the entire world. And that's not me. That's NASA. NASA says 1 gram of algae has 1,000 times the nutrition of fruits and vegetables. 1 to 1,000. They feed it to NASA astronauts in air, on space missions, and have for 4 decades. So it's got... is the most alkaline food in the world, has the highest concentration of antioxidants, which fight free radicals, by the way, which you need. It has 3 times the amount of protein as steak. The Germans won a Nobel Prize in the late 1900s for discovering it had the highest concentration of protein. 3 times the amount of protein as steak.
Just by popping these things here, and I did try them before the show, and they're not bad.
Well, these ones aren't bad. This is chlorella. This is the one that's an oxygen-based algae and will it kills bacteria and viruses. Do you know that in Japan, when babies are born and they cannot digest mother's milk, you know what they give them? They give them chlorella algae because it is so remarkably similar to the protein blend and all the nutrition in mother's milk. So newborns take this.
So how many of these bad boys do you pop a day?
Me? I have a habit.
You just throw them down. Like peanuts, right?
I probably eat about at least 100 a day. I eat it, but to be healthy, we recommend about 30 a day. But what happens is you feel so good after you eat them that you will probably want to eat more. So I eat like 50 or 60 for breakfast every morning with green tea, and it fills me up for about 5 hours, and they're only 1 calorie per tab.
Now, what made you decide to go ahead and make these things organically, grow them, turn it into a business? Because, I mean, fruits are good for you, too, right? How can you didn't go into the fruit business? Well, why are you going into the algae business?
The fruits used to be good for us, but they come from so far away now, it's tough to get proper nutrition.
And I want to talk about that, too, because folks are confused about fruit and the whole sugar stuff. So let's talk about this, though.
So what happened was, after my sister got sick, and I helped her find out about alkaline foods, and I was stunned by what I was learning, and I thought, somebody has to tell other people about this. So I gave up my career. I went back to school, studied nutrition, graduated, and to teach people about health and nutrition.
Did she get better? Your sister? How
yes, she's completely healed. 4 years later,
really?
Yeah, she's good.
And you attribute it to the alkaline?
She went through her chemotherapy, but she changed her diet so that she could sustain the treatments and come through them healthier. So this is a lot of doctors are recommending alkaline diets and algae, in fact, because it builds your immune system so that you can fight any kind of illness that's going on or any kind of treatment. And chemotherapy is really hard on you. So what happened is I started teaching nutrition, and everybody wants to eat healthier, as you know, and that's why we're doing this show. But it's a lot of work. You have to learn about all these greens. You have to figure. You have to go buy them. You have to chop them. I'm probably the only person in the world that that walks around with broccoli in their handbag.
The biggest problem is to balance it. I'm not sure how to balance these things. You need the protein, carbohydrates, and what's the other one?
Well, fats, healthy fats.
Right, and everyone knows that. But how do you balance those suckers where do you eat too much? Because you can have too much fat. You can have too much fruit, right? If you have an all-fruit diet, it's not necessarily good for you either.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. But I'll just finish up how I got into this. So I taught nutrition, and I found that people were so overwhelmed by the prospect of changing their eating habits that I thought, okay, I'm going to find something that's really simple for everybody. Because just like exercise, a lot of people won't start an exercise routine because the thought of it is just so overwhelming, so they just never get started. Once you get started on something, it's easier to maintain. So I stopped teaching, and I spent about 8 months researching different food groups and supplements and things. And I had been taking the algae, and I started researching algae, and it was like Alice in Wonderland. I fell into this hole and found this amazing product that had been used around the world for 50 years that's so nutritionally dense, but nobody in America knew about it.
We're going to hold you right there. We're going to take a break, come back and talk more about algae, the stuff you find in the pond. We'll talk about what not to eat.
Not my pond.
Not your pond, but not bad, though. We'll talk more about why algae is good for you.
But it's in my hood now.
I will take your word for it. I'm taking your word for it. We're going to come back, folks, with more of the Stan Simpson Show. We're talking health and nutrition, what to eat, what not to eat, what to limit. Don't go away. Catch us 24/7 at ctnow.com/Stan. See you in a few.